I would like to thank Attila Q for sending me this story, and it's a reason why I use this particular picture, because I can imagine that this is how Tamika Mallory is looking at Alyssa Milano after her most recent statements. And I also have to give a shout out to Harvey because he was very vocal about this same exact topic. As a matter of fact, I will leave the link to his video, to his commentary about this same story down in the description. So, on the right, you all know that is none other than Alyssa Milano, and she has pretty much become a thorn in a lot of people, especially a lot of women's side as of late. Even those who used to be linked up with her. Like, she's an extremely toxic person, point blank period. And on the left is Tamika Mallory. She was one of the organizers, I think, for that women's march back earlier in the year, and I think she and another woman are organizing another event. Now, they had invited Alyssa Milano to speak or be one of the speakers at this more recent one that they're about to come up with. I'm thinking they're trying to do an annual type of thing. I'm guessing. I'm not entirely sure. I'm sure I'm going to probably get a little bit more detail with the article as I read it. But Alyssa has come out and said that she will not speak at this particular event unless Tamika Mallory denounces Louis Farrakhan or Minister Farrakhan because of anti-Semitism. I got it. At least if you're watching the video right now, I got it right. I didn't say Semitism, I said Shemitism, because I know how you and a few others are very particular about the pronunciation of that word. So I'm doing this out of respect. But my thing is this: Alyssa Milano, who the hell do you think you are to demand that this woman denounce anybody? It doesn't even have to be Farrakhan to denounce anybody. I want to know, where was this outrage when that white terrorist went into that synagogue in Pittsburgh, not even 2 weeks ago, if that, and shot that place up and killed all those people? If your concern was so high for this, why didn't you say anything about that? I have not heard her say anything about this, and if she has, it fell on deaf ears. But no, she wants to keep bringing up Farrakhan like many other people, because as a matter of fact, Farrakhan came up in many people's conversations after that happened. I'm like, Farrakhan did not go in there and kill those people. He didn't send the nation in there to kill those people. It was a white terrorist that went in there and did that because he did not like quote unquote Jewish people. But y'all still have a problem with him. As a matter of fact, I was on a hangout with Lisa and True Royal Family last night. Shout out to those two individuals for allowing me to squeeze in and get in where I could fit in. And this topic, and the topic came up about how Farrakhan always is a topic of discussion whenever something like this happens. And I said, this shows you right here that Farrakhan has a lot more power than we care to admit. And this goes for a lot of us. Whenever they can bring up us in a particular topic of discussion when we are not supposed to be mentioned, then that means we lie dormant in their mental psyche. I've always said that if you can get somebody mentally, you've got them. Notice they always bring up Louis Farrakhan every time something happens in the Jewish community. Every time. And he didn't do anything to physically harm them. He didn't say anything anti-Shemitic like they claimed he always did. He was just speaking facts. Yet they can sit there and say all types of stuff about us, and we're supposed to just sit there and take it and not call it out. Oh no, those days are done. We are going to call it all out, and we don't give a damn who you are. I wish just more of us on the collective weren't scared to do so. And I know why a lot of people are scared, because we know who runs this establishment and pays our signs our checks. That's why. If that wasn't the case, you'd probably have more people calling a lot of the stuff a lot of the BS out that they do. A lot of it, to the point where they wouldn't even dare say some of the stuff they say about us or do the stuff that they do. But you had a white guy who clearly had an extreme hatred for quote unquote Jewish people, and went up there and shot up that synagogue and killed all those people. And I don't even think, and then they said they were quick. I don't know if they labeled him a terrorist, but they said they labeled it a hate crime, and they want to invoke the death penalty on him. And I have yet to see anyone have a camera shoved in their face asking, do they forgive him? And you're not going to see it. If it was a black person, they would have been asked them, and unfortunately, that black person probably would have said, yes, we forgive them. So Alyssa, she needs to direct her anger or whatever is going on into another direction, because this ain't it. Going to try to sit there and tell her, I demand you, just like a white woman. And I bet she did it with the finger wagging and pointed all in her face, because you know white women love to point that index finger. I demand you denounce Louis Farrakhan, or I'm not speaking at your event. You know what I would have said? Well, good, bitch, we don't need you. Who are you? I mean, after Charmed, who is Alyssa Milano? A failed actress. No one really cares about Alyssa Milano post her Charmed career. After that, like, you just pretty much latched onto whatever you could and, tried to make a name for yourself. But in your toxic nature, no one likes you. You have black people that don't like you. You have other white people that don't like you. And women of a very collective of races that don't like you. Don't you see the common denominator of all your issues is you? And I'm glad Tamika Mallory is not going to denounce Farrakhan. I'm glad that she isn't. Because they think that they can come in and do whatever they want. And mind you, Tamika Mallory and that other woman are the organizers of this event. Alyssa Milano ain't running shit over there. She is just a guest. A potential guest that might get uninvited. If I was her, I'm like, okay, fine. Next person, and find someone better than her to speak at your event. Then that can really, be thrown back into her face. But what's also interesting is people were actually against, again, Alyssa Milano. They called her a fake ally. Well, they can take the ally part off because she's not an ally. She's just fake. Let's just put all the cards on the table. The woman is just as fake as a $3 bill. Point blank, period. But and notice how she has her hair in this picture. She got them in cornrows. Who was she trying to imitate right here? She probably be like, well, the Vikings did. Well, fuck the Vikings. But Alyssa Milano, she got a lot of nerve. She has a lot of nerve. But like I said, that is a nature that a lot of white women like her have. A lot of them who think that they can just come in and do whatever. Alyssa, you didn't create the Me Too movement. You didn't put together this march. But you think you can just latch onto whatever it is and come in and try to start making demands when you're not even the overseer of this? You are just a guest. That's not how this works. And then she'll probably, I don't know what she'll try to pull out of her ass next. She says, anytime that there's any bigotry or anti-Semitism in that respect, it needs to be called out and addressed. I'm disappointed in the leadership of the Women's March that they haven't done it adequately. Basically to the beat of her own liking. She needs to sit her raggedy ass down somewhere. They said that Mallory and Sarcer, that's the other woman who's working with Mallory to put this event together. They said when criticized with their links to Farrakhan in the past, it says earlier this year, Mallory refused to be bullied into denouncing the Muslim leader and angered women's activists when she attended a Savior's Day speech by Farrakhan. Milano was among those who called Mallory out for turning a blind eye to the hate spoken about a group of people. Others called for her resignation. Let me see. She says, I'm a black woman and a mother, and while I do the hard work and learn along the way, I also won't accept abuse and attacks. I won't stand for it, and I don't deserve it. I risk my life every day so my black son and I live freely and safely. Her partner, Sarcer, the other woman, says jump to her defense and says, I won't sit back while a strong, bold, unapologetic, committed black woman who risks her life every day to speak truth to power and organize and mobilize movements is questioned, berated, and abused. Now, the woman who is working with her is not a black woman. She's not. Well, I wouldn't consider her white either. She's one of those non-white POCs, them non-white, non-black POCs. Let's put it that way. But like I said, Alyssa is just mad because Tamika is standing firmly on her square, and she's not budging for anybody. Point blank, period. And see, that's a good thing that Tamika is standing firmly on the square, not denouncing the minister, because that means he could give her some protection. Y'all remember what happened with Beyonce a couple years ago at the Super Bowl when they said that we're not gonna, the security down in Miami said they weren't gonna do her show because of her performance at the Super Bowl halftime show. And then Farrakhan said, well, Beyonce, if you need security for your show, just call us and we got you. Man, when they heard that, and I don't even know if she responded. All they had to hear was Farrakhan say that, and they jumped up and threw their uniforms on. Probably didn't want to do it, but they did it anyway, and was security at her show. I said Farrakhan has them shook to death. That man scares the hell out of them. That's probably why they can't stop talking about him. Because to them, he is the big black boogeyman. To them, he is their Satan on earth. And he never did anything to them personally. They act like he's the one responsible for the opioid plague. Meanwhile, it's these pharmaceutical companies that are white ran, and most likely the people importing them from China who are responsible for that, but they ain't gonna come at their neck. So Alyssa, she needs to sit her fake outraged ass down somewhere and do something. Y'all let me know what you do. I'm sorry. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. The links will be in the description. I'll talk to you in the